incidents at Yale, frankly, were provoked by these people, by these administrators, both in the Christakis case and in this most recent case, by these administrators who have to justify their existence on this campus by constantly creating racial crises and sexual identity crises, and constantly creating these crises that don't exist. Otherwise, their jobs would not be justified, okay? Like, Yale should fire 75% of the administrators that exist, okay? There's a one-to-one. There is a one-to-one ratio of administrators to undergraduates at this university. It is an outrageous waste of money. It is an outrageous insult to the alums of this institution who give their money. Why they give their money to Yale, I don't understand. But those who do are being swindled, and it's a disservice to the students who are having their lives micromanaged by these people in pointless jobs. Pointless jobs.
So you don't think that structural inequality is grounded in microaggressions, and that if we correct ourselves in terms of the small, that will result in larger change?
I don't think we're going to, first of all, I don't think we're going to really deal with the, I don't see how banning Mr. Potato Head or Aunt Jemima is really going to tackle the issues of racial and systemic class inequality in this country.
Banning Aunt Jemima might help.
No, and I think a lot of these woke debates that we get into in the media and on campus serve as a distraction from real issues of class that are the real determinant of where you rise or fall in this society as class. And what we have, frankly, is an elite class, of which I'm a member, okay, of upper middle class people, mostly white, by the way, okay? All this stuff is being driven by most of this woke nonsense is being driven by upper middle class, overeducated white people, okay? And their racial hangups and their neuroses. It is being, if you look at the polls, okay, a majority of African Americans believe that political correctness is a problem. A majority of them oppose racial preferences. If you look at the most left-wing portion of the Democratic Party, it is not the non-white portion of the Democratic Party. The non-white people who are Democrats are the most conservative element of the Democratic Party when it comes to identity issues. On all these issues that we define under the rubric of woke, white progressives are so far out ahead on all these questions. Is America structurally racist? Does America need radical restructuring? You go through it, and it's a poll. You can look at the Pew poll. It just came out this week. White progressives they are off the charts on all these questions. And they're out of touch with their own party, which is why they lost in Virginia. It's why they're going to lose big time probably next year, maybe even in 2024. Because the people who run our media, our institutions, our cultural foundations, our academics, our nonprofit foundations, our entertainment industry, are of this 5% class, okay? Mostly overeducated, upper middle class white progressives. And they're out of touch with the rest of the country.
Can I just add one last thing to that about what you said about the microaggressions ultimately lead to that? Again, it's probably my age. It may be I already revealed it when I said my sort of real respect for the civil rights era. It's as if what we're teaching kids in the elementary school era is denying the racial progress we've made.
Well, isn't it just saying that there's also aspects where we haven't made progress,
yes,
like the legacy of redlining, for example.
Redlining, as a law professor, I get that, right? But you didn't pull this out unless someone else did already. But I don't understand what systemic racism means. Like, I don't agree that we have systemic racism. We have racism, just like we have anti-Semitism. But I'm not sure I understand fully, and I'm saying that as a law professor. I don't understand what the 13th, 14th, and 15th Amendment means if we have systemic racism. All of the laws, civil rights laws, with public accommodations, housing, transportation, affirmative action, the system itself has been in large part set up for racial progress, and we have achieved racial progress in so many ways, and it does seem as if we're in denial. We don't want, that's just politically incorrect to talk about Like, for instance, I think it's politically incorrect to say, well, we just had a two-term African-American president who received more white votes than John Kerry did in 2004.
Well, and
and then we had two secretaries of state in a row who were African-Americans. Like, that's extraordinary. When I grew up, there were still signs that said, Jews, dogs, and blacks can't use this water fountain. Right? This is in my lifetime. So I'm like shocked that we're not really focusing on, and instead we're describing something that I think it gets so granular when we say systemic racism. I'm sure the president doesn't know what it means. He just keeps saying it. But it's not clear to me. No,
we should also be clear that the people who push this ideology are very clear what they mean by systemic racism: capitalism.
I'm an old school liberal, and I'm concerned about the perpetuation of liberal culture in the United States, and everything that I hear and read and see about the woke world is an enemy of liberalism, of openness. And I think that to me is at the core. And it fits so nicely with the coda that the rabbi gave us from the Talmud.
Yeah.
That it is a browbeating, one street, one direction way, of obsession with a sort of moral purity, and not really moral clarity, moral purity. And so there's a difference. And so that's my concern. That's why I've been writing about a lot. I can't believe the things that I'm seeing and hearing. And it's, again, foreign to me, because it feels, in the end, illiberal and anti-democratic. And that's just not where I come from.
Thank you.